Hello, welcome to Willz Lab. Today we'll be talking about events. Have you ever clicked a button on a website and something happened instantly? Maybe a menu opened, text changed, or a pop-up appeared. This happened because of JavaScript event. In this video, I'll explain events in the simplest way possible for beginners. An event is simply an action that happens on a web page. For example, clicking, typing, scrolling, hovering, submitting forms. JavaScript can listen to these actions and respond to them. A simple example, over here I have a simple HTML. I will have a button of click me, which is here, you can see. In our JavaScript, first we need to select the button. So we do const button. Okay, so first we do const button document get element by ID button. Now let's add the add event listener. So now here we do button dot add event. We do click. When we click, we want a function, and the function will be alert button click. When we refresh, you see, when we click, we get button click. So this means listen to the event. This add event listener here simply means listen to the event of click. So when a click happens, a function should appear, and the function should be alert button click. That's why when we click this button, it's alert button clicked. Okay, so when we click the button, JavaScript dictates the click and runs the code. Now let's talk about changing text with events. Now when we come to our HTML here, well, we can just say, let's create a simple text here, and we say h1 id, and we give it a title, and we say hello. Okay, and the button will be click me. Good. So now we come to our JavaScript. Let's call the title, and we'll call the title, and at the down here we say button add event listener click function. Then here we change it to title dot text content. We say welcome to Willz Lab. Now let's run this code and see what happens. Sorry, I haven't refreshed yet. When I refresh and I click, you see, when I click, we get welcome to Willz Lab. The text here was supposed to be hello, but because we used event, when we click on this click me, it automatically changed to welcome to Willz Lab. Now this is how website becomes interactive. You change the text, you call in the title, which is here, call in the title text, then you add event listener, title text content, welcome to Willz Lab, and when you click on it, it changes. Now this is part of event. So we've talked about click, we've talked about change text. Now let's talk about mouse over. So we are still going to use this, but let's clear up this part. Okay, now we've called the button. Now let's say button.add event listener mouse over. Now we want the function to be, let's console log it. Let's use console.log, and we say mouse is over the button. Okay, now let's work with this. Now when you refresh here and we inspect, okay, let me refresh this, and we inspect. When we click on the over, okay, we don't even have to click on it. When we just come over the click me, you see it dictates here that mouse is over the button. This happens because of event. Okay, see, when we just move it, it adds here. You see the number adding. Let me refresh it, and let's do it again. You see, mouse is over the button. I think mouse over is one of the simplest. Yeah. Now let's talk about keydown. What is keydown in event? Keydown happens when a user presses a key in the keyboard. Example, typing letters, pressing enter, pressing space, pressing arrow. Okay, and let's do a physical example in our HTML here. Okay, here now let's remove this h1, and let's have our input. Let's have our input of type, and we'll do text. That's to create where we can type. Okay, good. In our JavaScript now, we'll call the input. Okay, we don't actually need the buttons anymore. Let me just clear this up. Let's do first input. Let's call the input the document dot get element by ID. And what's the ID name? The ID name is input. Okay. So here now we say input dot add event listener keydown. So the event should listen to keydown when we press a key. And want the function to be, we'll use console log and we'll say a key was pressed. Okay. Now let's see how this goes. When we refresh here, now let's press a key and see. Wow. See, the key was pressed. The key was pressed. The number of keys we press is what appears here. Okay. This is all about key down. Our website uses key down for games, keyboard structure, dictating, enter keys, search bar, chat apps. This is a very important event in websites. Still on the topic of this key down, let's dictate key. Now let's do something else. Input add the event listener key function. And let's do the function to be event. Let's use event. Now we are just going deeper in this key down. Then in this event, let's see if event key is enter, then console log a key was pressed. Okay. Now we just want to dictate the enter key. Now let's refresh this and see. So when we press other key, you see nothing happens. But when I press enter, you see it shows a key was pressed. But when I press other keys, nothing happened. It only dictates enter. Okay. We can use any keys on the keyboard. Okay. So we've talked about key down. Next, we'll talk about submit. The submit event happens when a form is submitted. Example, the login forms, the sign up forms, the contact forms. Okay. Now here in our HTML, we have the input type text with the placeholder your name, which is this here. Okay. Then we have the button submit, which is the submit button here. Now when we click this submit, it does nothing. Okay. We have to call the form in our JavaScript, and here we'll say form document dot get element by ID, and we'll call the name my form. Okay. Here we say the form, the add event listener should listen to submit, and when we click on submit, we want it to function. For now, let's keep this empty. We want it to function in our console log form submitted. Okay. Now let's refresh and see what happens. When we refresh it here and type on something, when we click submit, it actually works, but automatically it refresh. Okay. To stop that refresh, let's use something called event.preventDefault. Okay. In the function, you say event, okay, and then we call the event prevent default. Okay. Now let's refresh again and see what happens now. When we say Willz lab and let's submit, see it shows form submitted. Okay. Now the prevent default stops the page from refreshing automatically. This is extremely common in real web page. So in real life, submit is used for login systems, registration forms, search forms, payment forms. Okay. So next we'll be talking about input. The input happens when a user type in the input field, inside the input field. It dictates changes immediately while typing. Okay. Now in our HTML file, we have this, we have the input type text and the ID of name input. You can see. Now in our JavaScript, we'll say input document get element by ID, and we'll call the ID name input. Okay. Now we'll call the input add event listener. I want the function of the input. I want the function to be on, I think, let's use console log. Let's use console.log, and we'll say user is typing. Okay. Now let's refresh our page and see what happened. Let's open our console log. And our console log, and let's type and see. You see, you show, oh, I made a mistake, sorry. It's is. User is typing. See, when we type, it says user is typing. Now, in real life example, this is how live search works. The chat app, you can say in your chat app, when the user is typing, it shows typing at the top. This is how it dictates it. Okay, and many more. So this is it about events. These are the basic topic about event: the click, the changing text, the mouse over, the key down, the submit, the input. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you will be able to see our new video when next we post.